What up? This is Nickel Plated, repping Long Island. Welcome to NYC.com, my boy Comet. This is Full Spectrum Dominance. We're going to show you what I've been doing. Dropping a free double album. I want you to check it out. It's very important. And we're going to show you how it's going down.
This is his
What up? We in the laboratory, Nickel Plated, Chris Slater, engineer extraordinaire, and we just getting busy here with some beats. Show y'all how it goes down.
Yeah, what up? Yeah, with Comet, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to NYC.com. We're here getting the inside scoop on Full Spectrum Dominance. You know, for the people out there that don't know, my man Nickel Plated been producing for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna get the inside scoop on that. And on that note, what's good?
Not much. Just been really putting down this project. It's been a long process. It started out as a basic idea that has morphed into a full double album, 2.5 hour consecutive running, pretty much a music documentary. I guess you would call it, would be the best way to describe it. But I just tried to put together, people have been asking for a while when I was going to put out a BCD, you know, around and whatnot, but I decided rather than to do just like a simple concept as a BCD, to make it more interesting to listen to. So, and with the, what's going on right now, everybody knows, you know, things are bad, and a lot of people don't know why. So, basically, I just tried to give basically a crash course in globalism, the New World Order, whatever you want to call it. But basically more how they're operating and with the direction they're going in, which is horrible. So that's basically it.
Alright. So for the people out there, you know, that don't know who you are, you know, how long you been producing for?
Well, it seemed like yesterday, but it's been about, I think about 8-9 years now. And, you know, just working hard, but I mean, I've been producing 8-9 years, but I literally spent probably, for a good 7 of those years, spend about 50 hours a week on the MPC. So you could take that 9 years and really double it as far as practice goes. But as far as being on albums, I've been, my first published release was about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. That was Crumb Snatcher out of Boston, Gangsta fan. That was Hidden Scriptures, his album, and that was big coming out for me because I did like, I believe, 7 joints on that. So it was a good way to come in, because that's how I, you know, that's how I always, as a producer, it's really bulk to me is what counts on an album, because it. You know, and not necessarily, it's good to have 1 or 2 here and there that I ended up being on Cannabis's last album that way. But it just shows your range as a producer, which is what I try to do a lot.
So what was it that got you into producing hip hop? You know what I'm saying? Like, what got you into it? Like,
well, it was basically just, you know, I've always been playing instruments for a while, probably for like, I don't know, like 15 years or so. Just been playing random instruments. And basically, hip-hop production is the only way that you're a judge, jury, and executioner. You're the guitar player, you're the drummer, you're the horn player, you're whatever you want it to be. And just dealing with bands and that type of annoyance in making music, you know, it's 5 different people's schedules and, you know, all that stuff. So it basically, you know, was a convenient way for me to continue making music, but at the same time, it just, you know, started really getting back into the classics and seeing what, you know, was missing and things. And I mean, obviously, it's got progressively worse, but that's a whole other topic.
so what inspired you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what made you say, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make some sick.
I have to say, probably just just really revisiting the classics with the musician's ear, rather than, you know, when Infamous came out, I was younger. I was probably like 16, and you don't really hear music like you do, you know, until you start playing it, and especially doing the production. You see how, you know, it just makes you want to work harder and better, and really just hip hop in general, just inspiring, you know, what it's about.
Alright, so on that note, big producer and all that, what's your equipment of choice? You know what I'm saying?
As far as, I mean, everything has to come out of this little guy, the MPC. I use other programs for sounds and stuff, but basically when it comes down to formatting, this is the most convenient way. It's the most musical way to me, because coming from a musical background, it's just a lot easier to tap shit out than to place it and all types of other stuff that you do with other programs. And also, just nothing sounds like an MPC. You can get all the programs you want, and you can get it pretty much there, but I can still tell.
So, since your time in the game, you know, other than Pump Snatcher, you know, who else you work with? Like, who else, you know?
Well, actually, I'm doing a whole project with Mayhem Loren out of Queens. He fucks with it's Outdoorsman, J Love too, and he's a really up and comer. And out of the, it's funny because out of really any of the new artists, I mean, a lot of them just sound the same to me, and they're not necessarily bad, but there's just not really anything separating them from the, you know, from themselves. So his, you know, he's just got a real 90s, late, you know, 96 era sound, which is rare to come by. So, and we just started clicking, and now it's like we don't even have to speak. It's just I know what beats his, I send it to him, he loves it, you know. So we've been working on this project for probably close to 2 years now. That's coming out. It's called Nickel Plated Wordplay. It's got features from Sean Price, Black Poet, MYGs, Shabam Sadiq, and more. And that's basically going to be like a 18 track type of. We might do it as a published release. You know, labels can holler at us for that. But either way, we're going to put it out soon. So it's coming to a halt, and it's real driving music, 90s era type shit, and shit that the game been missing. And also I have 4 joints on Black Poet, Screwball out of Queensbridge. His next album, Everybody Killer. Those joints are real tough. They're real good shit. And that I think will definitely, you know, as far as let people know, especially the range, you know.
Is there anyone right now in the game that you want to work with?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot. I mean, it's funny though, because a lot of, like, I love Black Poet forever. Like, ever, you know, since the Screwball era, he was one of my favorites. And to get to work with him was like a big, you know, it was like, wow, it went off the list. But I mean, there's though, you know, I love to work with Raekwon. Locks Boys always put it down. There's a lot. OC would be a really good one. You know, there's definitely a lot. And hopefully, you know, we'll make it happen.
So right now, what's going on? What have you produced on? Like, give people a little rundown of what you into and what you've been around with as far as producing and who have you worked with.
Well, definitely the Cop Shop was a big place that, as far as getting me connected musically to other people, and it actually helped me get my first placements on really anything. So that, you know, got me around other producers and other MCs in the game that had really, you know, knew how to have respect for things musically, which definitely helped a lot. You know, Asthmatic, you know, definitely was, you know, big help. Thorough Tracks all day, you know, really helped me out with a lot of shit. And just, you know, I met them from the Cop Shop too. And it's just, you know, just a matter of, you know, building, you know, good, like, you know, being real and just, you know, doing shit for people, and, you know, you just get results. And, you know, me and you had that joint, Big Noise, that was fire, and that all came about, you know, I met you there too.
Yeah.
So it definitely, you know, was a big help in the, you know, because God knows, shit, if it wasn't for them.
It was like Fat Beats on Long Island.
Yeah.
In other words.
Hell yeah.
It's real big.
Yeah.
So, I know you're about to put out your whole full spectrum dominance, F.S.D. In this Mayhem Loren project. In music right now, like, how do you see your music fitting in with what goes on right now?
Well, there's something called like I guess catering to your market now. The music is so like far gone in certain aspects that like I try not to really worry about that so much, because when you worry about that when you're making music, I don't think you're really making music at that point. You just, you know, you're at a factory basically. So, but you know, there's always, you know, not everyone wants to listen to garbage, you know. So that's basically what it comes down to me, is, you know, because to really make money off garbage, it'd just be like another job.